He kicked me out to bring his ex in, so I took my ring and his reputation. Please stay with me as I tell my story. And please, do not forget to support our channel by subscribing to our channel, liking our videos, and sharing your loved ones. Your support means the world to us. Now to our story. I think we should end this, he said, right as the waiter placed my plate on the table. I blinked, thinking I misheard him. What? He didn't even look up from his drink. I just don't feel the same anymore. I've been thinking about it for a while now. My mouth went dry. Is this a joke? He shook his head, still not looking at me. Look, I didn't want to do this here, but she's coming back into town. I told her she could stay at the apartment. I stared at him. She? Who the hell is she? He finally met my eyes, and I saw it. The guilt, but also the smug confidence underneath. Ava. My ex. I felt like I couldn't breathe. You're kicking me out so she can move in? It's not like that, he muttered. You knew we had history. You're engaged to me. I snapped, my voice louder than I meant. A few people at nearby tables turned to look. He leaned in, lowering his voice. Don't make a scene. Too late. I sat back, stunned. I wanted to scream, cry, throw my drink in his face, but I didn't. I stood up, grabbed my purse, and walked out. Back at the apartment, I didn't cry. I was too numb for that. My hands were shaking, but I started packing. Not everything, just what mattered. My passport, my laptop, the hoodie I always stole from him, the photos I had tucked in a drawer, my perfume, which she would probably throw out the second she got there, and the ring. It was sitting on the bathroom counter, where I left it after washing my hands earlier. A 2-carat princess cut diamond. He said it cost 12 grand. Said it was a symbol of forever. Forever, huh? I picked it up and held it to the light. Then I slid it into my coat pocket. He came home around midnight. I was already gone, but I left him a note. It said, thanks for the warning. She can have you, but not what you owe me. No threats. No drama. Just a clean goodbye, with a side of quiet fury. I didn't take the furniture. I didn't take the TV. I didn't need any of it. I left the house, but I took the ring and a plan. We met at a coffee shop downtown. He was charming from the start, smiled like he already knew me, talked like we'd known each other in another life. I wasn't even looking for anything serious, but he made it feel easy. Natural. Fast. He called me his girl after the second date. By the second week, I had a drawer at his place. After a month, he said he loved me. I believed him. He told me his last relationship nearly ruined him. She cheated. She lied. She left me with nothing, he said, voice low and raw. I felt sorry for him, protective even. So when his graphic design business started falling apart, I offered to help. I redesigned his website. I ran his social media. I even loaned him money when his equipment crashed. Just until I land the next client, he'd say. I told him not to worry. I believed in him. When he proposed 8 months in, it felt sudden, but also right. He said I saved him, that I made him feel safe again. But then the late nights started. He'd disappear for client meetings that didn't show up on his calendar. He changed his phone password. He started locking his laptop when he left the room. I asked him once, "Are you seeing someone?" He laughed, told me I was being paranoid. "You're overthinking. I'm just busy." I wanted to believe that too. So I did. I stopped asking. I made excuses for him. I told myself he was stressed, not shady. I kept giving, hoping it would go back to how it was at the start. But now I know the truth. He never stopped loving her. The ex who ruined him, the one he claimed shattered his trust. He was waiting for her to come back, and using me to fill the silence in the meantime. I wasn't his future. I was a placeholder, a seat warmer until she felt like coming back to claim him. And when she finally did, he kicked me out like I was never there. No explanation. No real goodbye. Just a casual, heartless, she's moving in tomorrow. Looking back, I think the proposal wasn't love. It was fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of looking like he lost. He needed someone to fix his life, and I did. He needed someone to love him, and I did. But none of it mattered, because he was never mine. I was just holding her. Place. 2 days after he kicked me out, I found her Instagram. Ava. Her profile looked like a Pinterest board had come to life. Travel pics, latte art, gym selfies, mirror shots with cryptic captions like, "Sometimes you have to go back to move forward, and if he's yours, he'll come back." Gross. It didn't take long to piece together the timeline. She cheated on him 2 years ago with some finance bro in Miami. Dumped my ex like expired milk the second the other guy flew her out. Apparently, that rich guy moved on too, left her behind without a second glance. And now, she'd come crawling back to the man she cheated on. And he took her in. No shame, no hesitation. He threw me out like garbage for her. I couldn't just let it go. I needed to understand what I was dealing with. So I did what any sane, furious woman would do. I started digging. Ava had tagged someone in her older photos, a guy named Braden. Private profile, but I found a public post of them together just 3 weeks ago. Beach trip. Matching bracelets. Comments turned off. I had a hunch. She wasn't done with him. She was two-timing them both. So I made a burner account. Just enough photos to look real. Sent Braden a message. Hey, just wanted to let you know Ava's back with her ex. I thought you were still together. He replied in 5 minutes. What? She said she was crashing at a friend's. Are you serious? I sent a screenshot. Ava's reflection in the window behind my ex during one of his recent project launch posts. Clear as day. Braden was quiet for a while. Then, thanks for telling me. I had no idea. Wow. Turns out she was juggling them both, telling each a different story. She told my ex she was done with Braden. She told Braden she was staying with a friend to figure things out. She was using them like backup plans, switching depending on which one gave her more attention. And me? I was just collateral damage. But I wasn't about to play the silent, heartbroken ex. If they thought they could humiliate me, they underestimated who I am without him. 3 days after I left, he texted me. Hey, can you drop the ring off sometime this week? It cost me 12 grand. No, how are you? No, I'm sorry. Just a demand like I was a delivery service. I stared at the message for a while before I responded. Sure, I'll get it appraised and let you know when I'm free. Truth was, I already had it appraised that morning. I walked into a small jewelry shop 2 blocks from my new place. The older woman behind the counter took one look at the ring and raised an eyebrow. This is a nice piece, she said, holding it up to the light. How nice? I asked, trying to sound casual. She checked the diamond, the setting, the band, all of it. Retail, this would go for 28, maybe 30,000. Did you say it cost 12? I smiled. That's what he told me. I walked out of that store feeling like I'd just won the lottery. Not because of the money, but because for once I had proof he was full of it. He lied about everything, even the price of my ring. I called a pawn shop the next day. They offered me $18,000 cash, no questions asked. Before I handed it over, I took one last photo of it. I placed it on top of the breakup note I left him, with my hand holding a coffee cup beside it. Subtle, aesthetic, and perfectly staged. Then I posted it on Instagram with a caption. He gave me this when he promised forever. He gave her my spot a year later. So now it's paying for my new place, my new life, and a new designer bag. Thanks, babe. I didn't tag him. I didn't have to. Mutual friends saw it. Screenshots started circulating. Someone posted it on Twitter with a wild caption, and suddenly strangers were commenting things like, "Girl boss move, she wins, and men really think we're stupid, huh?" He didn't reply to my message after that. He knew better. I blocked him the next day. He gave me that ring, and now it's paying for my revenge. He built his business on being the good guy. That was his brand, Mr. Reliable. Honest. Loyal. The kind of entrepreneur who called clients family and posted cheesy motivational quotes like, "Your word is everything." I used to believe it too. Hell, I helped him build that image. I was the one who ran his socials. I organized his calendar, responded to DMs, managed his email. At the time, I thought I was supporting my future husband. Turns out, I was just managing his lies. After the breakup, I logged into the old email out of habit, and that's when I saw it. There were messages he never deleted. Half professional, half creepy texts to a 22-year-old intern. Screenshots from group chats with other entrepreneur bros, where they joked about overcharging clients who don't read the contracts anyway. There were fake invoices, edited PDFs, and discounts promised then retracted once the money was paid. He was charming on the outside, but behind the curtain, he was a snake in designer sneakers. And I had the receipts. I didn't post anything publicly. That would have been obvious. He'd know it was me. So I created a fake email and sent everything, screenshots, voice notes, invoices, to a local gossip blog that covered influencer drama and shady businesses in our city. I knew they'd bite. A week later, their front page had a headline. Local entrepreneur accused of lying to clients, harassing in turn. His face was right there, smiling next to a quote he definitely didn't authorize. The fallout was immediate. Clients started unfollowing him. I watched in real time as his business account bled followers. One of his brand sponsors made a statement during a live Q&A, saying they were pausing all future collaborations until things were cleared up. And the best part, I never said a word. He had no idea who did it. I didn't have to post anything myself. Just let the truth speak for itself. I'd spent months cleaning up his messes, pretending he was better than he was. Now, everyone saw him clearly. He messaged a mutual friend asking if I was behind it. I just smiled when I heard. Let him guess. Let him squirm. He built his image off lies. I just tore it down with facts. Turns out, karma hits harder when it's well documented. He thought I left quietly. That was his first mistake. While he was busy posting filtered pics of brunch with Ava, pretending his life was perfect, I was packing my things and setting the stage. I didn't trash the apartment. That would have been obvious. Messy. Loud. No, I preferred something slower. Subtle. Annoying. First, I took every remote in the apartment and removed the battery. Not just the TV remote, also the ceiling fan, the air conditioner, even the LED lights he was so proud of. He'd turn them on manually for now. Annoying, but not suspicious. Then I went to the kitchen, switched the salt and sugar, left everything in the same containers. It'd take a few ruined meals for him to figure that one out. I turned the water heater to the lowest setting possible, just above freezing. Good luck to Ava with her morning skincare routine. And the pillows? I unzipped every one and removed just enough stuffing to make them feel wrong. Not broken, just uncomfortable. Petty, maybe, but it felt good. Quietly chaotic, like an itch that never goes away. But the best part? That came after. See, I was never on the lease. He didn't want to complicate things by adding my name. I let it slide back then. Now, I used it. I found the name and address of his landlord tucked in a folder we kept for document. Wrote a nice little note. Hi, just wanted to inform you that tenant has allowed an additional person to move in without notifying the building. Her name is Ava last name, and she is not on the lease. Also worth noting, I am no longer residing at the unit, as the engagement has been broken. I printed it, signed it, and mailed the apartment keys along. 3 days later, he called me. I didn't answer. Then I saw his Instagram story. A photo of a hotel room window with the caption, "Temporary stay while we handle stuff at the condo." Upside down face. Oh, I laughed. Apparently, handling stuff meant the landlord found out Ava wasn't listed and gave him 2 options. Add her officially with full credit and background checks, or vacate the unit until paperwork cleared. He couldn't add her, she had a record. Some unpaid debts. Eviction. Things I doubt he even knew about. So now they were stuck in a budget hotel suite, sharing a mini fridge and arguing over who forgot the charger. He thought I'd just leave and move on. Guess who's now living in a hotel suite instead of our condo? It didn't take long for her to mess it up. Ava always needed attention. That's the thing about people like her. Drama isn't something that happens to them. It's something they chase. I wasn't even looking for dirt when it landed in my lap. A mutual friend sent me a screenshot late one night. "You're gonna love this," she wrote. It was a DM conversation between Ava and some pro athlete, a verified account, big name, definitely not my ex. The messages weren't vague either. She'd been flirting, talking about linking up in LA again, and saying her situation back home was just temporary. She even sent him a photo from inside the condo, my old place, with my ex's favorite vinyls hanging on the wall in the background. He had no idea. I almost felt bad for him. Almost. But then I remembered how he kicked me out so she could crawl back in. So I sent everything, screenshots, usernames, timestamps, to the same gossip blog that exposed him before. They didn't hesitate. Posted the full story the next day with the headline, "Local influencer caught cheating again, this time while living with her ex-fiancé." It spread fast. Way faster than the first post. Turns out people love a good downfall. My phone blew up. Friends, old co-workers, even one of his clients sent me links. Everyone had an opinion. Everyone had jokes. Even strangers were tagging her in memes. As for my ex, he posted nothing for days. Then he shared a black screen on his story with one word, offline. I guess he couldn't handle the spotlight once it turned on him. He messaged me once. Just once. "Did you do this?" I left him on read. I didn't owe him answers. He didn't give me one when he threw me out. He didn't even have the guts to be honest about her coming back. And now, he was sitting in a cheap hotel room, dumped by the girl he thought was his real love, humiliated in front of thousands and totally alone. Poetic, really. He thought I was the problem. He thought I was dramatic, emotional, overthinking everything. But I was just quiet, patient, watching. He kicked me out for a liar who lied better than him. A week after the Ava scandal hit the blog, I got a DM from someone I didn't expect. Jake, my ex's so-called best friend. They'd known each other since college, ran in the same circle, always at each other's birthdays, Sunday barbecues, guy trips. The kind of friend who stood by him through every breakup, every dumb decision. Or so I thought. His message was short. "Hey, I saw everything. You probably don't want to hear from me, but..." I always knew he was trash. I blinked. I read it twice. Then I replied. "Then why didn't you say anything?" He called me, and for once I answered. Jake sounded tired. Honest. "I wanted to tell you so many times," he said. But he'd shut me out. He was obsessed with keeping you around until Ava came back. Said you were the safe option. Like you were some placeholder. Hearing that from someone else hit harder than I expected. He knew what Ava was doing, Jake continued. She was still talking to other guys. Hell, I told him I saw her out with someone, and he just laughed it off. Then he said something that caught my attention. You know that intern that filed a complaint against him last year? The one he said was lying. Yeah, she wasn't. I was there. I heard him. Jake had worked at my ex's company for over a year. He'd been on the calls, in the meetings. He'd seen everything, and stayed silent out of loyalty. But now, The loyalty was gone. He offered to help. Said he still had access to internal emails. He'd testify if needed. Said it wasn't just the intern, there were others. People who quit quietly because they didn't want to deal with the fallout. This guy's not just a cheater, Jake said. He's a walking HR disaster. Someone's gonna sue him one day. I thanked him. Not because I trusted him, but because I knew what this meant. Even his own circle was cracking. The people who once cheered him on were starting to look at him different. Like maybe he wasn't just unlucky in love, but toxic all around. Jake didn't want anything from me. He just wanted to be done pretending. When I hung up, I felt it shift. This wasn't just my revenge anymore. This was his whole life falling apart. Even his circle is turning against him now. That's when it really started to unravel. I didn't plan on telling the whole story. At first, I just wanted to vent. Maybe write a post, let it go, move on. But every time I opened my drafts, I thought about the other girls, the ones who'd messaged me after Ava got exposed, the interns, the former clients, even strangers. So I did it. I spent a weekend putting it all together. Screenshots of texts. The email where he told me he loved me 3 days before kicking me out. The photo of Ava in our apartment. The DM thread between her and the pro athlete. Jake's message confirming the cheating. Even a snippet of the intern complaint that never got addressed. I wrote the full timeline on Reddit. No names, just enough detail that anyone who knew us would know. He proposed after 8 months. I helped rebuild his business. He told me I was his forever. Then he kicked me out so his ex could move in. Here's what happened next. I linked to my TikTok too, where I made a short video montage. No faces, just photos. The ring. The note I left him. The condo. The empty space on the wall where our pictures used to hang. It took off fast. Within a day, the Reddit post had thousands of upvotes. The TikTok hit 1 million views in under 48 hours. People were duetting it, commenting things like, "You carried that man and he kicked you out for a cheater?" And, "I hope he's watching from that hotel room." My DMs exploded. A girl who used to intern for him messaged me. I thought I was crazy for quitting. Thank you. Another woman told me he ghosted her years ago, after she lent him money. Even one of his old clients said she canceled a deal because he gave her the creeps. It was like everyone had a story, and no one had said a word, until now. The last time I checked, his business account was down by 10K followers. The gossip blog posted a follow-up with links to my post. He hadn't posted anything in days. But me? I was finally sleeping through the night. I signed 2 freelance deals from people who read the post and loved how I handled it. I even got a collab offer from a jewelry brand. Ironic, but satisfying. I didn't just tell my story. I owned it. I lost a fiancé but gained a following, and peace. 3 months later, everything was different. I had a new apartment, small but bright, with plants in every window and my own coffee maker that no one else ever touched. It felt like mine in a way the old place never did. Peaceful. Honest. The viral post had changed more than just my mood. A woman who owned a boutique branding agency reached out after reading it. Said she liked my writing. Said I had a voice people listened to. Now I was working with her team, managing digital campaigns, telling real stories, getting paid to do what I loved. It didn't feel like revenge. It felt like freedom. The ring money. I used part of it to start my own side project. Nothing big yet. Just the beginning of something that was mine, built from the pieces he left behind. I didn't follow him anymore, but I still heard things. He lost a few key clients. One of the brands that dropped him publicly cited ethics concerns. His business partner quietly bought him out. Ava was long gone, of course. Last I heard, she ghosted him after someone leaked screenshots to her new boyfriend. Karma didn't just catch up. It passed him, circled back, and ran him over. One night, I went out with a friend for drinks. Nothing fancy. Just a chill bar near the office. We were laughing over fries when I saw him. He was sitting alone near the back, hair a mess, face tired. I almost didn't recognize him. Almost. He looked up and our eyes met. His expression changed. Like maybe he thought this would be a moment, some dramatic reunion where I'd stop and talk. Maybe cry. Maybe apologize for exposing him. He stood halfway, opened his mouth like he was going to say something. I didn't stop. I didn't wave. Didn't smile. Didn't give him anything. I turned my head back to my friend mid-laugh and kept walking. That's all he got. He chose to live in the past, with lies, with drama, with people who used him. I chose something better. He replaced me with his past. I replaced him with my future.